I find it interesting that a company like Netmarble, a studio known for some of the most aggressive cash grab mobile games, oh my god, it's raining money, is suddenly funding a huge open world game for the PS5 and Steam. And the craziest part, the game actually looks good. And that's usually when I start to get worried. The game is called Seven Deadly Sins Origin, and it looks way higher quality than what you expect from a gacha game. Which naturally makes me wonder why a company built on mobile monetization suddenly risk millions on a big console and Steam project, going as far as releasing the game early on console and Steam before the mobile client. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the game myself and figure out one thing. Is this game actually legit, or is it a really high budget scam? One of the reasons Netmarble might be doing this because the competition is getting a little stiff. Games like Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves have completely raised the bar on what gacha games are supposed to look like. The market is getting more expensive by the day if you want to make a splash and carve your spot. So it has me believing that Netmarble might be building the biggest leech they ever made. And what community better to try it on than Seven Deadly Sins fans? And that's the bias I'm playing with. My antennas are up. First impressions. The graphics, they're good. Some of the areas look really impressive. And for fans of Seven Deadly Sins specifically, this is cool because we haven't seen a big open world from a actual anime IP ever. But the optimization on PlayStation is hit or miss. The combat is addictive, but it didn't click with me for the first few hours. Mainly because the 3-weapon system is fun, but it took me reading to figure out. It gives each character multiple playstyles. However, you can't switch mid-combat, but you get to control 4 characters all the time. The open world is where things get interesting. It's a very standard open world wrapped in Seven Deadly Sins. Honestly, if you played Genshin before, this feels like a clone. The music, the structure, even the flow of exploration. Which is funny because Genshin was a clone, so it's a clone of a clone. The story at the time of me playing it is not in English yet, so I can't tell you about it because I skipped most of the story. The combat and the co-op is what separated. However, it does feel like a console game, but the multiplayer needs some work. However, what they're attempting to do is better than Wuthering Waves and Genshin's multiplayer because you got full-on dungeons and a fully co-op story mode that you can go with your friends. So this is a huge plus. You can play with your friends, but one of y'all might fall in a hole and never return. Autorun is a nice addition because the puzzles are not that engaging. At a certain point, you start recognizing everything you've been doing. Let's move on. Gotcha pressure. The game doesn't push summons on you too fast, especially if you're following the story. The generosity of the currency is pretty good, but you're gonna have to explore for it. And of course, it's split into paid and free currency. On a personal note, I don't like the stupid names Netmarble comes up with for their paid currencies or their free currencies. You're spending money, not star gems. Other than that, your paid packs is your typical bundles. The power creep is kind of difficult to see if you look at the details of the thing, but if you key in on cube keys, you'll understand where exactly you'll be spending months of your time. The cube keys are your stamina system and you get 35 a day. You cannot use your free currency on cube keys. You have to spend money. They do give you 1 pack of cube keys for each day, so they are encouraging you to log in every single day. So even with all this exploring that you're doing, there's a set limit on how strong you can get your character each day. Besides being weak, go ahead and explore away. And when you're done with that, you know where to find old Netmarble. They threw us a bone and took out the weapon banner, only to give us crafting. And instead of pulling for your super OP weapon, you can go craft it yourself. But if you want it to look cool, you're gonna have to go to the weapon skin banner. So Netmarble will want your time or they will want your money. You can choose which one, but Netmarble will get what they want. There's no big paywalls for the story or anything like that, so that is a big W. The final verdict. The weird thing about this game is it's actually addicting. Like, I played it, I put real time into it. The more I played it, the more I realized something. The game forks into two paths. One is you spend a large amount of money to get ahead, get strong quick, and keep smashing the enemies in the pace quicker and quicker. All the while playing the game on story mode. Path 2, you spend a little bit less money and you decide to play the time game. Slowly saving up your resources, slowly upgrading your characters, and hopefully you do not get power crept by a new game mode they introduce later. You will still end up playing the game on story mode. So as you can see, both of the paths lead to the same destination. So no, it's not a scam. Seven Deadly Sins promises exactly what they delivered with this game. Let's be honest, this game is designed to keep you logging in. A very high budget for a short-term addiction. And somehow Netmarble brought that formula to console. With a little help. And at this point, I'm not even surprised anymore.